Look at that.
Get from behind
Look at that.
You can't do it.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
look
see,
at that.
And if you tell that to the cops,
at that.
they're not going to give you any consideration.
Oh, look at that.
Why is it so spicy?
Well, hello everyone. Today we're going to be checking out Taog's Hangar Hughes 500C, or also included in the package is the Hughes OH6A, I think it is. So this is a civilian and military use aircraft. We're going to be flying this beautiful bird, the military version today. So wanted to give you guys I know I'm probably a little late to the party with this one, but a lot of people know that I'm, coming back to simming after quite a while of being gone. And so I'm kind of just getting caught up, but I have all of Taog's other aircraft, and so this is no different. Of course, I would get this one. So I have a little bit of history flying helicopters. By no means am I a professional. I intended to be at some point, but that just didn't happen. But I still love flying helicopters in the simulator, and this one is beautiful. So some quick points about it. I think price point is like $32.99 in the store. It's totally worth it. It's got two different variants, actually four different variants. So it's got two variants for the civilian version, which is a floats version, and then I think it's a high skids version with a ton of liveries, and those liveries are interchangeable for both civilian versions. And then with the military version, which is the OH6A, which is what we're flying, the low skids variant has most of the military ones, and then the high skids variant has a couple extra ones, I think a Navy one, and some other liveries. So there's a ton of liveries in this thing, ton of features. As always, if you're new to Taog's Hangar's aircraft, then this will be kind of a little lesson for you on how most of them work. And if you've had some Taog's Hangar's aircraft before, a lot of the stuff that you can put onto it, a lot of the extras, he really goes crazy with them in the best of ways. So we're gonna go ahead and check those out, and let's hop into the aircraft. I was thinking about doing a startup and everything like that, but I want to keep this video just a little bit shorter. And by the way, if you're wondering out there, I'm using the Tobii head tracker. Video is not sponsored by them, but I do love Tobii. So anyway, we're gonna take everything off. Well, actually, we'll leave the doors on, and we're just gonna take pretty much everything off of the aircraft and just show what it looks like bare bones. So here's everything that you've got with it, just bare bones helicopter, which you would normally get with most helicopters that you purchase. I think not many of them do a lot of the extra stuff. Maybe Cowan Sim is the other one that I can think of that adds a lot of extras. So I don't think we can do battery card unless it's shut off. But anyway, so if you wanted the mirror on, at the mirror, you got the wire cutters, right? So wire cutters going to make sure that if you hit a power line, hopefully it'll go within this crevice here and cut them off. Got your mirror so you can see down below you. I'm not sure if mirrors work in any video games, to be honest. Like, you ever tried looking in the mirror in a Call of Duty game? I don't think it works. This one, I don't know if it works or not. More probably just for looks. I don't think mirrors work in video games. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, you have your baskets here. In case you're a basket case like me, you can put your baskets on the side. We'll just go with a left basket, and so you can take off your back doors here. Obviously, the sound, very good sound. Sound is done well. I think Taog does his sound in-house. I love that, by the way, that livery, that electric drive there. Little Playboy bunny sticker on the back. Notice the sound goes back to very beautiful. Alright, and then you take these off, and again, the sound changes as you change the doors, take them on or off. So again, we're going to put these back on. Okay, so Bear paws, I really like the bear paws. You don't really need them all the time, but I really like them. It adds nice little stabilizer on the back, so you don't go sinking into the ground. You can put a door gunner. Interesting with the door gunner, you can see like any of the characters in here, they actually move around. So pretty cool to see that. But now watch what happens when you take off the door, right? Now he's just ready to, you know, do some low-level shooting. So we'll take the door gunner off for now, and we'll go ahead and put on the minigun. You see the weight will change a little with the minigun. I think you can shoot it, but I haven't quite figured that out. So we'll have to see. If you know this answer already, feel free to throw it in the comments. I don't take any offense to people knowing more than me, because that's just how life is. We'll put the cargo hook on to prepare for the Bambi bucket when we get on top here. I don't know what I'm talking about being on top, but in the air. So you can put troops in here. Also, we'll modify the weight of the aircraft. The only thing I wish is that we could put our own characters in here. I don't think you can do that in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 yet. But it's pretty badass that you can do it, at least with, you know, the chopper will let you do it. Okay, so we're going to take off the troops. Going to put on the searchlight. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so you can't do the searchlight in the minigun. Searchlight's pretty cool. Let me just go ahead and show you guys the searchlight real quick. So we're going to go ahead and make it dark. So the searchlight, I did notice there's one little thing with the searchlight. It says that it's on right now, but it's not. And so when it says it's on stow, just the tooltip is, I think, backwards, because it shows on, like right here, it shows that it's on, you know. So I think it's just backwards, the way that tooltips go. But what's pretty cool about this is, like, you can actually move this searchlight around. And it's pretty powerful too. So like as you fly, and there's a way you can set it up to your buttons. I've done it before, but with 2024, I'm not gonna mess around ever again with binding anything if I'm not in the beta, which I could be right now, but I don't know for sure. So anyway, so that's how that works. We're gonna go ahead and bring back the light. Speaking of the light, rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness. For all you Ozzy fans out there, rest in peace to him, and old Hulk Hogan passing on. So you can put realistic damage simulation on here. You can put repair all damage. I'm going to go ahead and get these doors back on so I don't have to scream and holler. We're going to put the minigun on. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and take off here. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and fly. We'll take a trip to some pretty cool mountains I'm seeing here on Sicily. So that's where we're at, guys. We're in Italy. So part of the reason that I like to do these videos is to showcase developers' work. A lot of times we're doing, you know, smaller, more boutique developers. It's who I prefer to work with, because those people work their asses off, and they don't... A lot of people probably think like developers are loaded and they're driving around their Ferraris in Italy, etc., etc. But the thing is they're probably not. So you probably, I mean, you got to be pumping out aircraft like Coronado to probably make decent money doing this. With that being said, though, you know, they can, you know, make a good living, I think, and you know, a modest living doing it. So I like to support them to help them make a little more modest living, and hopefully my channel will get big enough. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully my channel will get big enough that we can help Taog buy a Ferrari in Italy someday. But no, I mean, from the beginning of the channel, you know, a lot of these smaller developers are the ones that I've preferred to show. And so that's why we're doing this. But one of the other reasons why is because I like to explore the world, as well as anybody who's watching this, I'm sure you do too. But sometimes you get kind of stagnant on the different places that you can, you know, fly, and you don't think of, you know, it's just hard to think of things sometimes, you know, even though you have the whole world at your fingertips. It's like, how, yeah, are you going to be like me and slew around the entire world, you know, 100 feet off the ground just to look at it all? You know, you're not going to do that. I mean, only someone who's completely out of their mind would do that. Oh, there's a nice little... but yeah, only somebody's, you know, completely whacked out would do that, you know. That's why they call me slew sticks, by the way. So, but this area is really, really beautiful. I mean, bush flyers would have a blast out here, especially where we're going to go. We're going to go to the Parco Madoni, and totally, you know, probably not even close to the right pronunciation on that, but we're going to the Parco Madoni Jabroni Mountains, and we're going to check those out. But I've noticed the aerial imagery from this area is really nice. So, by the way, we're trimmed out, guys. For those of you that struggle flying helicopters, a lot of people ask me this. They're like, well, Burstix, how do you fly helicopters halfway decent? And it's like, well, you know, you gotta bind your trim, you know? I mean, I think flying with assists in helicopters, you know, in the menu, I think it's like more difficult to me. So my suggestion is always take off the assists and bind some trim, and as you fly, as you take and make changes to your, you know, your power setting, which most of the helicopters in the sim are going to have they're going to be governed, or at least, you know, start out governed. I think this one you can take off the governor here, which it's not labeled, so I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it starts out governed, and then you can press that and it would be ungoverned, and that would just mean that your pitch and your throttle would be separate of each other. But most of the helicopters are governed, so basically when you make a pitch, or well, when you make a change on the collective, which is that bad Jesse right there, which is just your pitch and your throttle together, when you make a change on that, it's going to require a different trim setting, right? Because your torque is going to increase. And so as the torque increases, you've got to, you know, change the way the trim is facing in the helicopter a little bit to kind of mitigate the extra torque or the less torque that you get when you're flying. So, but yeah, the biggest thing is just when you're flying helicopters, you have to keep everything in somewhat trim. If I let go here, so, right, if I let go here, then that's what I'm doing, right? But I'm not holding too much, right? But I could trim, right? So I'm going to trim a little bit to the left and a little bit back, and see, that's not quite too much. And really, you want to hold your heading, and then kind of trim to release the stick. And sometimes you might overdo it, and then you got to go back to the right a little bit. But my goal here would be to just fly straight and level, and we're almost there. And, you know, you can trim a helicopter out pretty damn good to be able to fly pretty straight and level, or with barely any input on the cyclic, which is that bad Jesse right there. But yeah, I don't know, man. This helicopter, it just feels like you're inside of it. Especially the civilian version. And so we might do a little rip in one of the civilian ones, because the whole like instrument panel in the civilian one is just special. This one's great too, but there's some little screws on it. But I mean, all the little detail on this helicopter is just, I mean, there's not a lot of helicopters you can get right up close with and just look at the detail and just look how beautiful it is. And this is definitely one of them. I don't have a lot of time to make videos as much anymore, and I'm still trying to, you know, pump out some videos and get you guys some quality content, something you can relate to, something you can learn something from, whether it be a little bit or a lot, a bit, who knows what you can learn. But, you know, I try to get the videos out, and the thing is I don't have as much time as I did before, so the way that I've been solving that problem is just being very selective on what I choose to do videos on. So one of the things about Taog's helicopters, the flight models are very realistic, and sometimes they can be, like for instance the Llama. If anybody got the Llama, you know, that flight model was tough to get used to, but man, once you got used to it, holy shit, did it felt just absolutely stunning. And you know, coming from someone who's actually flown a helicopter before, I can attest. I mean, while you can't get exactly the same thing in the simulator, I can attest that the Llama felt as realistic as possible. This helicopter, however, which I think this helicopter was designed to be an easier flying helicopter, you know, for the real world. This helicopter feels very realistic, but it's also a lot easier to fly. It just seems a little more docile and a little easier to get trimmed out and everything like that, which it's not tough to get anything really trimmed out, but it just seems a little more docile. So I think even like a beginner would find a lot of value and a lot of enjoyment out of this helicopter, as well as the, you know, hardcore simmer or even the helicopter pilot, the real life helicopter pilot. So, but yeah, this area is freaking beautiful, guys. This is Sicily, and if you've never flown out here, this is like beautiful. A lot of Italy's like this. I mean, Italy is one blessed place, and you know, I don't know about you guys, but as a flight simmer, you know, I'm kind of enamored by the world, which, you know, that might be, oh yeah, sure, everybody is, but I mean, I'm like, I think about every little thing. Like, has anybody ever walked on that spot right there? You know, has anybody ever like lost a shoe? And that spot right there, you know what I mean? Like, what goes on? There's so many places in the world. It's like almost ridiculous to think that we live in this place that's just like in the middle of some giant black oxygenless galaxy, and then like we just have all this stuff here, you know, and it's you know, like to me it's God that made this, you know. It's like, it's beautiful. Not everybody can get out and spend the kind of gas money you need to rip a jet around here, so, or a jet engine helicopter around here. So I think the sim really freaking does a lot, especially in 2024, man. 2024 is just gorgeous. It's like a lot better in my opinion. So, and then, you know, we talk about all this beauty and all this, and then we get here. It's like, man, I think old Slew Sticks is coming out of pocket. All right, guys, don't worry. You didn't see anything. Just close your eyes. I'm serious. Keep them closed. Uh-oh. Oh. All right, we can fix that. We can fix that. Alright, who knows, guys? If you saw that, that means I decided not to cut it out of the video. If you're not seeing that, then you're going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? Look at the beauty. Unbelievable. What is this place even called? A lot of you guys ask me what that map is and how do I get that map on my game. I don't actually have it. It's not like on the screen that I'm looking at. So it's just in the... It's just something that I put there for the video, like a little bit of video quality. I wanted to show you guys the map so you could see a little piece of what I'm looking at here. But yeah, wow. And I don't know what it is about 2024, but there's something about 2024 that, I don't know, it's like more depth perception. or what, but it is definitely, like, I don't know, you just feel more in the sim than you do in 2020. Especially with, like, the way that they've done, like, 2020, that would just look like some kind of ugly looking crap, but in 2024, they've got, like, actual rock looking things. They've got actual rocks on the ground. Alright, so we're gonna make a switch real quick into the civilian version. So let's go advanced options, developer mode. Typically I have developer mode on. Oh, that's the floats version. Okay, I don't want the floats one. Ooh, it's nice looking. Alright, so we managed to get ourselves in the civilian version, and this is the Worldwide Helicopters Limited, Timaru. I'm not sure what that means, but Timu. Me too. But just look at this. I mean, I don't even know what we're talking about, because I'm looking at this. And so whatever we were saying, I mean, you just sometimes it's important just to look at it. You know what I'm saying? The wise man once said,
What you get from behind
Look
you,
at
you
that.
can't do.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
wow. Just absolutely gorgeous. Speechless. We gotta take the doors off. Camera's getting a little wacky there because the microphone's in the way. Man, just beautiful. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll show you some of the stuff that's available in the civilian version. So you have like your spray kit, which I think this works. I'm not sure if it works. I think it would work in 2024. I haven't tried it yet, but I would say because it works in the, I would say it works just like the just like the Huey does. But you have your spray kit here, which is pretty interesting story actually. The reason that I never finished flight school has something to do with a spray kit. Another thing you could do is put on a cargo pod, which is kind of interesting. It's only on the one side, and then you have your searchlight, which we showed earlier. Which will keep the searchlight on. We'll take the cargo pod off. We'll leave the cargo hook on. And we have the old Bambi bucket here, which from previous Taog helicopters, I think you can fill that up and dump the water if you're into the fire stuff. Put on the realistic engine simulation. You can repair the damage here. This is pretty interesting here. You can, if you want your fire extinguishers there, or there, both. And then also, so for those of you that have like the TDS or the PMS, you can do, I don't have TDS in right now, I do have it however, but it's not going to load up because I don't have it in my sim, but I do have the PMS in. And then also you can go with just like a radio stack. Well, it's easier if you turn your head tracker off, but you know, what do you know? But I'm going to put in the PMS. And then we'll go ahead and put a left basket on. But yeah, I don't know, just this helicopter is done so well. I mean, I hate it that like every helicopter or like airplane that I do in the sim I love, you know, but like that's the thing I was saying earlier, is like I don't have a lot of time to be reviewing every single aircraft, you know. Like for that, I would tell you definitely check out Av Angel on YouTube. If you know me and you don't know her, then that is probably happenstance, but just in case, if you're looking for someone who checks out darn near every aircraft, good or bad, Av Angel will tell you how she feels about it. and she does a good job. She actually has cast our E-Stol series with us. By the way, if you didn't know about our E-Stol series, we do have a short takeoff and landing competition that is done by the Burstix TV team, 80K TV, and National Stol, the real life National Stol. So it's direct one-to-one of their series. So you should check it out if you like that kind of stuff. And I would say if you don't know what it is, check it out. You'll probably like it. I know that the first time I ever found out about Stol, I was mad. Not because of what most people would think. I was mad because nobody had told me about it sooner. I was like 31 or something by the time I first heard about Stol, and I'm like, why did nobody tell me about this? You know, it's like the next level of bush flying if you like competition. Some people don't. But if you don't like competing, it's still a blast to watch. And I think it's cool because everybody picks out their, you know, favorite pilots and all that stuff. Everybody's hooting and hollering and rooting in chat. It's pretty cool. Wow, so this is beautiful. I have not seen this yet. I've been flying out here the last few days, and it's just freaking something I noticed on the map, and I said we gotta go look at it. So there's one more spot up here, and what I'll do is, because I don't want this video to be, you know, 45 minutes long. We could make it 45 minutes long. But what I'll do is I'll show you guys on the map here. This area right here is called Parco del Madoni or something like that. Parco del Madoni. Anyway, it's in Sicily, and it's like right here, okay? And you gotta go check that out. But for now, we are gonna end this video because I got work tomorrow, and so trying to balance all this stuff, having a newborn and all that stuff, it's been a little bit difficult, but I'm glad I can still get out here and make videos for you guys and just look at this beautiful freaking place that we have. Even though it's a virtual world, it's still fucking gorgeous, bud. So we're gonna go land in Mary Do Russell's yard. She's got houses all over the country. Yeah, this cockpit especially is just, I mean, you feel like you're fucking in the, you feel like you're in it. I mean, that is just so realistic looking that I almost just crashed. Oh, this this helicopter is great, man. It's worth every freaking penny. All the liveries, all the extras that you get, the flight model's beautiful. I mean, there's nothing except for a couple little things like I noted with the landing light. It's noted correctly on the 3D model or on the textures, but it's just the tooltip is off. So the searchlight down there, it just says, you know, it says it's on when it's off and off when it's on. But if you just look at the actual wording on the collective, it'll tell you. But anyway, let's land. Oh, I never claimed to be a pro. Never claimed to be a pro. Alright, look at that. Wow. I gotta bind a button for the rotor brake. Would you just look at that, folks? That is one beautiful aircraft. Taog, you do a great job, man. I don't know if you're still a one-man team. Ooh, listen to that. Just a little faint chop of the blades. Chop of the blades to you. Wow. Just absolutely gorgeous. Well, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for flying along out in the sticks. The old burr sticks. Welcome to the channel if you're new here, though. If you don't follow or subscribe, please do. Go ahead and throw the video a like as well. It helps out a lot. And we do group flights on Twitch probably once or twice a week. You know, I'm back on Twitch. I guess we'll just call it safe. We'll say like once a week I'm back on Twitch. But it's really been a pleasure flying with you guys. And we'll see you on the next one.